The Lakers have had a big Russell Westbrook problem. This season has been one of the worst of his career, and his efficiency numbers have dropped off a cliff for a player who already wasn't known for efficiency. Just 2 years removed from a championship season, the Lakers have made back-to-back team overhauls with very little success. For Westbrook, they gave up several key players who would have been amazing on this team, those being Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and of course letting go of Alex Caruso in free agency. As a result of all those moves and Westbrook's strange fit, the Lakers now rank average to pretty bad in most statistical categories. In this video, I'm going to show you how the Lakers can improve immensely by simply just replacing Westbrook with an average NBA player. Before we start, I put in a lot of effort into making this video. Hitting like would be extremely appreciated. If you want more of these videos, make sure to also subscribe. Russell Westbrook has had several key areas that have regressed this season. He has become an extremely poor shooter in every spot on the court. He's shooting 29% from 3, 47.8% from 2, and 66% from the charity stripe. Westbrook is also averaging the third most turnovers per game behind only James Harden and Luka. And finally, Westbrook is fouling at a rate that would put him fourth among all guards. So how would the Lakers improve by simply just replacing Westbrook with an average NBA player? The Lakers rank 14th in 3-point percentage, 10th in 2-point percentage, and 28th in free throw percentage. They also surprisingly rank 5th in points scored per game, but that could also be because they attempt 6th most field goal attempts out of everyone in the league. By replacing Westbrook with league average shooting, the Lakers can jump up to 4 spots to be 10th in 3-point percentage, 6 spots to be 4th in 2-point percentage, and 6 spots to be 22nd in free throw percentage. As a result of the improved efficiency, LA would be scoring an extra 2.37 points per game, placing them at 3rd in the league. I calculated these numbers by simply taking Westbrook's field goal attempts per game and applying league average shooting to them. To sum it up, Westbrook likes to shoot, and he likes to shoot bad shots. It's become increasingly common to see him go for a long a bank shot, only to completely miss and end up on every low-light reel on social media. Opposing teams also appreciate that Westbrook pulls up from 3 frequently. He's only hitting 34% of all of his jump shots this season. Worst of it all, Westbrook is no longer the inside driving threat he once was. He's regressed to the point it has become more common to see a blown dunk attempt than the recent demolition he put on Rudy Gobert. He's only hit 54% of his looks within 5 feet this year compared to 62% last year. And after converting 77% of his dunk attempts last season, he's only managed to make 58% of those with the Lakers. When he even manages to draw a foul, he still shoots poorly on the freebies, making him completely ineffective as a driving threat. 2 other big areas of concern for the Lakers is how many breaks they give opponents. These breaks come in the form of turnovers, which they rank 26 in the league. The other issue being fouls, because they foul 20.3 times per game, which would put them at 27th in the league. Westbrook happens to rank top 4 in both fouls per game among guards and turnovers among all players. Although I don't have the stat for an average NBA player, replacing Westbrook would only positively affect these glaring holes. Finally, defensively, Westbrook hasn't been a positive either. He has a defensive net rating of negative 0.7. Opponents shoot overall 2.6 percentage points better when guarded by him, but he isn't the sole reason for the defensive struggles compared to previous years, because the Lakers are without Anthony Davis, one of the best defenders of his generation, and they also had the luxury of employing several switchable two-way wings that hustled on each play last season. But part of the problem is that they willingly gave it all up for Westbrook, who is now on a seemingly untradeable contract. Offensively, his game has been broken this season, and defensively, he hasn't helped much either. Because opponents shoot better when guarded by him, if we were to replace those shots Westbrook defended with just average shooting, other teams would still score 0.2 points less per game. In a league where tied games come down to the wire very often, that difference can have big impacts in the long run. By combining the difference in the Lakers' expected points scored as well as expected points scored by the opponents by replacing Russell Westbrook with average players, we can calculate that the Los Angeles Lakers would outscore opponents by an average of 1.1 points per game. And that's a lot better than the current status of the team, which sees them being outscored by an average of 1.4 points per game. That doesn't even consider the decrease in turnovers and fouls, plus the hopefully increased efficiency of the team's offense with better spacing. It's sad to see Westbrook's career in this state, but it's best for both parties to move on.